Good day, folks. My name is Sean, and this is Air Photography. Sometimes when I create YouTube videos, I go by questions that are being asked down in the comments. Now, one question I have been asked a few times over the last couple months is what kind of setup do I use when capturing content, B-roll content, and things like that when out in the field? How do I capture audio? How do I mount my cameras? So that's what I'm going to kind of go over here today and show you what I do when I'm out capturing content. For the most part, I always bring two GoPros with me. I don't always use both. I have this main unit here that I use on a regular basis. This is also how I capture the audio that's used in the videos. And then I have a secondary GoPro that I have mounted on the Max grip. Now, I don't like to mount GoPros on my head. Either on a hat or with the head strap. It's just too awkward. They're a little too top heavy that way, and it's just, I find if you're wearing them for a long period of time, it's very uncomfortable. Your hat's always kind of falling down in front of your eyes, and you're constantly adjusting it. So what I do is I mount it on a chest strap. I find it's the perfect point of view, especially if you're doing demonstrations for drones and different things like that. You're at the right level. You can get a good view of your controller and what's on the ground in front of you. It's very comfortable to wear. You can wear it for several hours and it's never really in the way. Now for the main camera here, you can see I have the GoPro Max lens mod attached to it. And the reason being, I do that actually for a couple different reasons. In the past, I would just mount the GoPro on there, and for the most part, that works just fine. But the problem is sometimes your field of view is very narrow. With the Max lens mod, I can kind of get a field of view similar to using the GoPro Max 360 camera. And then on top of that, you also have the horizon leveling. The horizon leveling that's built into the Hero 9 Black can only be used when you're in linear mode. And linear mode just doesn't quite work when you're doing stuff out in front of you because, for example, if you're flying a drone, your controller is going to be right up in the screen and you can't see anything else around you. So with the Max Lens mod, you have a nice wide field of view, but it also keeps your horizon level. So if you're moving around, perhaps you don't have the chest mount perfectly level, you know that your horizon's always going to remain level. The stabilization on the Hero 9 Black paired with horizon leveling is pretty incredible, so when you're wearing this camera, quite often it looks like you have it mounted on a tripod. Even though you might be moving around a little bit, the image stays super stable. Now, as mentioned, I also use this to capture my audio for the main audio track when I'm out in the field. I like to keep things simple. I don't really want to have to use a third-party audio recorder. So what I do here is just use the wireless Go 2. And this is actually a pretty impressive little microphone. Really good quality audio. And even on windy days, if there's a breeze, with that little dead cat attached to it, you never really hear any kind of wind noise. The other beautiful thing about this is if I need to get some audio, but I'm not going to be recording with the GoPro, with their latest firmware update, this transmitter also acts as a field recorder. So as soon as you power this on, it's now recording audio. And the audio is just as good as if it's transmitting it back to the receiver. You just plug this into your computer, and there your audio files are waiting for you. So all in all, this setup works really well. It's nice and compact. Using the media mod there, it's very convenient. There's not a lot of cords dangling, and it's not too overly bulky. Now, sometimes in the past, I have used the lavalier. Sometimes I'll plug it into the media mod. The only downfall to using that is that, you've got cords dangling and they get in the way a little bit. So that's basically mainly how I capture most of the B-roll footage when I'm out filming stuff that I want to edit into a video about drones or whatever I happen to be reviewing at the time. And as mentioned, like I said, I always bring a second GoPro with me. And this way I have one that's free and available and I can just, film something, a drone up in the sky. I like having it attached to the Max grip because then I have a tripod. So if I'm filming something like a drone landing or taking off, I've already got a built-in tripod that's easily deployed. And then, of course, you have a bit of an extension if you need it. I like to keep things very simple. Many of you know that I film all my YouTube videos on an iPhone. That's what I'm filming on right now. And I edit on an iPad, so I like to keep all my camera gear simple and efficient, and I find it works really well. Now, as a last kind of bonus item here, if you are wanting to mount a GoPro on your head, I highly recommend the head strap by Telesin. I have the one by GoPro as well, and it works well. But the problem with it, I find the mount plate at the very front is small. So when you're wearing it, it really digs into your head. There's a lot of weight from the GoPro pushing down, and I find that, wearing it for an hour, your forehead starts to get sore. Now, this one by Telesin actually has quite a bit of material there, and it spreads the weight out nice and evenly across your forehead. And it's really comfortable to wear, actually. And with it, you actually get the bonus of having a second mount on the back of your head. So if you're doing a hike through some woods and you want to get both angles, front and back, you can do so quite easily. So definitely, if you are in the market for a head strap, I highly recommend getting the Tellison one over the official GoPro one. It's just so much more comfortable to wear. You'll be very happy with it. Now, quickly before I go here, I just want to show you this. Most of you are probably already aware of the new Insta360 Go 2. If you're not, it's basically a tiny point of view camera. And I think going forward, I will be implementing this a little bit more into some of my videos. I have used it a little bit already. You might have perhaps seen it in action. But the nice thing about this is if you do want to wear a GoPro or a point of view camera on your hat, this is super small and light. And they actually have this nice little hat clip. As you can see here, it just clips onto the brim or the back of your hat. And you can adjust the angle. There's no way to connect a good microphone to this, but like I said, just for some B-roll that you're going to be mixing in, it works great. So yeah, just another idea for you if you are looking to capture some extra angles for your YouTube videos. The Insta360 Go 2 is a little bit pricey for what you get, but you know, it's pretty small and easy to manage. Well, folks, that's basically it for my video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.